lasers.
In church, they have a little, I'm not kidding, a little hot tub behind the preacher built into the wall. And then you go into the back room, you put on the
kid-size hot tub. Very weird.
Full of priest cum and stuff.
Full of the water. The water is very...
The tubes are all clogged and shit. It's not bubbling like it should.
Yeah, they're in there like it's fucking like the Playboy Mansion at night. Yeah. But you go and you come forward and you go, I would like to be baptized, and they take you into a back room where you change into what the caddies at the Masters wear, basically, like a white jumpsuit, and then you walk down.
It looks like the Walter White hazmat suit a little bit.
Right. Yeah. And the preacher grabs you and he goes, "Do you swear that you were pressured into this by your family, and that one day you'll start a podcast that builds an even bigger rift between the two of you?" And I go, "I do." And then they dunk you underwater and bring you back up. And then they bring you back up and then they lean in and they go, "Now, if you ever masturbate again, you will go to hell. You've been washed anew. This is your one chance to stop masturbating." And that's basically how it goes. Okay. I didn't do. Did you do it in front of the church? I did it privately because I didn't want people to see my fat little titties when I came out of the water.
You requested a private baptism?
I requested a private baptism. Yeah. No, what actually...
Because of your fat tits.
Yeah. like I was going to come out and some guy's like, "Woo!"
Dude, were you afraid the hot tub would overflow into the auditorium if you got dunked?
Like the clumps? No, the real reason was I was so convinced that I woke up in the middle of the night because I was like, the world can end right now. And I'm going to go to hell forever. And it got me in like this panic state. I just started like weeping. And I woke my mom up. I was like, "Can I get baptized like right now? Can we baptize me right now?" And it was like a Monday or whatever. And she called the preacher up that morning and we like drove in because I was convinced like if I didn't, for some reason I was convinced the world was going to end. If I didn't get baptized right now, I would go to hell.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's probably why Mom thought you were gay, because she was scared you were gay for 10 years. She was terrified you were a gay guy.
Horrified that I was gay.
Little did she know her nightmare came true.
Little did she know I secretly still am.
Lib fag.
Yeah, I'm a lib fag. Yeah.
No, I got baptized, I think.
In front of the church?
I think it was a private thing, but Dad called some of the oldest bastards in town to come witness it. And they were sort of all standing around like King of the Hill. Like they had like long pieces of straw in their teeth, and they were just watching me with their like suspenders popped and stuff. Like they were sexually getting. And I think about it as like a sexual thing for them. They were all watching me.
They have a new prospect.
They were all back there watching me undress as I was getting into my garb to be baptized. Very strange now that I think about it, actually.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. I had a private booth.
Yeah, boy. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Get in there nice and deep. Like.
I got a photographic memory, son. This is going in the spank bank.
Now, don't dip him like a chicken nugget. You want to duck that, boy.
Dip him sultry like.
Let him sit. Let him sit under the water for a little bit.
They're sitting there eating edible panties like fruit roll-ups, just watching you, just drooling.
They go, let him get moist under the water for a little bit.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yes, sir. Let him into your heart and just open up and let him in.
Yeah,
let that man inside you.
Now you're nice and clean and ready to get defiled. Oh, it's so nice when they're pure. There's a lot of funny. I remember there was one. You might not remember this, Ben. I vaguely remember. We always had African immigrants who would come. We would, they'd send,
from Ghana specifically.
From Ghana, they would always send like a guy.
God knows where that is.
Yeah, they would always send a guy named like Reginald, Van Smith, whose grandpa was a Nazi and now he's in the South. He would go to Ghana and then he would bring back a guy named like Umbutu, and then Umbutu would like after. The preacher would be like, "Does anyone want to come down and get saved?" Then Abudu would go like, "I do. I want to get saved." And then they would dunk. I remember they dunked.
Like, I've never been in water.
Yeah, please let me have the water. I'm so thirsty. No one in Abilene, Texas would give me water.
Everyone refuses service.
I keep going. And they shoot at me. But he was getting...
No black water fountain.
This water looks a little too clear for you, Ndugu.
Let's push him dirty.
Yeah.
Take him to the muddy water.
Yeah, he comes out of the water. They go, "He's still black. What is wrong with this water?"
They got like Dawn dish though. Right?
Yeah.
Like he was in an oil spill. Just scrubbing
his skin off like with a sponge.
Yeah, skin's raw.
Shit, now he's red. Now he's the devil. Then they blow his head off.
We get his oil rights now. But they dunked him, and he when he went underwater, he freaked out and started like his hands went all over the place.
Yeah.
Just because he was like, I don't know, he just not used to that much water or something.
Sure,
and then he like got it. And he was dark as night, like Wesley Snipes dark. And I remember he like freaked out under the water, and like, you know, you just like look at your dad, and he gives like just a nod, like that Jeremiah Johnson gif, just like that's right, that's right.
Because you can't swim, is what you're saying.
Yes,
That was the inside joke.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I got baptized in front of all the old geezers. I don't even know why I brought up the baptism thing, by the way, Jace. I don't know why I.
Well, you're talking about being born again in the blood. You know, the Spirit called you.
Why'd you guys get baptized so late?
I brought it up for a reason.
I thought you were supposed to do it as like a baby.
No, that's Catholic shit. That's for fucking
right.
sinners and child pedophiles.
It's so much more cinematic, the Catholic stuff, though. You know? It's always
they
like,
believe ancestral sin, so
it's
a baby is
cool.
born.
Baptism in the Catholic Church, it's like a baby. They do the thing, and then it smash cuts to like 3 different murders.
Sure,
and it cuts back. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's like The Godfather.
Like at the beginning of The Witch, the baby gets taken off into the forest and killed by the witch at the very beginning.
Sure, yeah.
And then they go, our child is in hell because the child hadn't been baptized.
Yeah, the Catholics believe that babies are born sinners, and we were like,
I mean, how retarded are they?
well, the thing is,
Wait, fuck me.
the babies don't go to hell though; they go to purgatory.
It's a sinner won't fuck me.
That's so
But
I smite you, baby.
smite you to hell.
the baby just laid there. He never came on to me. He had plenty of opportunities.
He said "goo goo gob gob," but he didn't say it with a seductive
Wait, why are we
tone.
making the Catholics redneck? By the way, it doesn't
It's
even
just
make
it's just a fun voice to do.
Yeah,
I think we're trying to do country bumpkins a little bit.
country pumpkin Catholic.
They're never
Yeah.
Catholics.
Well,
Yes, sir.
Pope Francis.
I love the Pope Francis.
Pope Francis is a gay apologist. Fuck Pope Francis, motherfucker.
Catholicism is like too liberal for like
Yeah.
people we grew up with.
Yeah.
Catholicism scares the fuck out of me. By the way, it feels very satanic. And I know, Jace, I know you got a lot of messages when I went off about Catholicism.
Well,
And
just
how I
one.
thought it was satanic.
Just one, yeah.
People get very mad when you talk shit about Catholicism.
One guy
but
said he's
it
not
seems
listening.
retarded.
One guy who said
Yeah.
he's not listening to the show anymore. I was like, so everything we've talked about is
It's all fine, but
the minute you talk about the Catholic fucking church that has its own country worth like $1 trillion,
Yeah.
you know,
The only
anyway,
good
they're gone.
priest in the Catholic Church is that guy who denied the Holocaust.
Right.
He'd be like, oh, 6 million. Oh, 6 million. And then they kicked him out, and then they kept letting him back in.
And they go, all right.
I guess he had some whole routine about the Holocaust.
Well, no, he got
would
suspended
do.
like he was Latrell Sprewell, where they're like, well, he's still in the league.
Yeah.
You just got to think about what you did.
He's Ron Artest.
Yeah, he's right. He's Meta World Peace.
So you guys, in your church, it's like if you guys died before 12, you're not going.
you ought to go to heaven. And I even remember being in youth group and like because they would always go
Wait,
through
what? You auto go to heaven?
in our church. If you die before you're of age to get baptized,
No. That's not it. It's if you
In
you
Church
have
of
to-
Christ?
you have to understand right and wrong. Once you can understand right and wrong, you need to get baptized.
But I'm
if you
saying
understand
if you-
right and wrong, you haven't been baptized, then you go to hell. So
If
if you're
you
like
di-
9, you know you should get baptized. You don't have the courage to stand before the congregation and get washed in the blood. Then you die and go to hell.
But if you die at 2 is what I'm saying. If you die at like
'Cause you don't understand right and wrong
You don't
yet.
understand right and wrong. You go to heaven. So we would be in youth group, and they were all these insane hypotheticals around it's just all who gets into heaven, and people would be like, well, so shouldn't we just like kill all the children? Like, wouldn't that be kind? And the preacher's like, there is an argument for that. It would be better if my kid was growing up to be a sinner. I would rather kill him at 1 year old so I can join him in heaven one day. Weird shit like that, man.
Yeah, it's
shit.
a weird territory. Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, it's such a blink. This is the blink of an eye, and then compared to eternity.
Sure.
So
I remember our preacher, who I always did like our preacher, but he always had this. Anytime the conversation got too like retarded and like theoretical, he goes, "Yeah, I remember one guy came up to me. He's like, so if there was a guy about to die in the middle of the desert, he came up crawling up to you. He says, I want to be baptized. I repent of my sins. I'm about to die. There's no water to baptize him. What would happen? He goes, I go over the hill and to the oasis. He goes, where'd that come from? He goes, the same place you made up that story. You know, like just like an example of like, you know, enough with the hypotheticals, like who fucking knows, basically.
Right? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets too gay. You get too in the weeds, just like everything, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
People
like
do
how
become
the damn Dems get in the weeds.
You're damn right.
And
But
they vote for warmongers just so they can kill babies.
but people do become nerds for the Bible. It is like basically like little D&D people like growing up.
What's that? Oh yeah. It's all a bunch of gay horse shit.
Yeah.
But you know what's not gay is Tucker Carlson getting attacked by a demon in his sleep.
Which is definitely true.
It happened to me, then that did happen to me, and then I was seized with this very intense desire to read the Bible, which I then started without any study aids.
I was compelled by all the ad revenue I would gain by reading the Bible.
It didn't have any. I'm not interested in editorializing in the Bible. I just want to read it and see what's in there myself. I have very low levels of trust for Christian pastors, most of whom, you know, I'm just not a fan at all. And sorry to say that.
There's one passage that says that George Floyd did have fentanyl in his system.
and that's Acts 8:37. Acts 8:37. And lo, George Floyd had fentanyl in his system. And lo, Derek Chauvin shall stand at the right hand of God on the day of judgment.
Amber Lamps 3:16 says